things have been getting worse here in Belize for about the last 13 years. Belize always had a reputation of being a very peaceful country. Obviously, it's a country with a huge coastline, reef, natural beauty. I mean, we've got, not only do we have beaches, but we've got mountains, lush green valleys here. This is such a beautiful country, and all these people from different cultures that live here and work with each other and live together, and for the most part get along with each other. The murder rate last year, I should say in 2011, in Belize was 36 murders per 100,000 people. Now bear in mind that 31 murders per 100,000 is considered civil war level of violence. So it was at 36, and that placed Belize as the 6th highest murder rate in the world. Well, this past year, 2012, the murder, with 145 murders, our murder rate was approximately 42 murders per 100,000 people. So it shot up dramatically. And you can feel the fear here in Belize City. And that fear has had a terrible effect on communities. People don't want to leave their houses anymore. People are scared to send their kids to school. It's also had a huge impact on the economy here. Foreign companies don't want to invest. Foreign travelers don't want to come to Belize to go on vacation when the State Department issues travel warnings. So what CCRD is trying to do, we're trying to do two things. We were founded on the idea that if you just focus on the problems themselves, pretty soon the conversation gets bogged down. You get paralyzed. You see all the things that are going wrong and all the things that aren't working, and there's really no way out of that. And you can feel that when you talk to people here. Everybody wants to talk about everything that's wrong, and they'll give you a laundry list about what's wrong, and then pretty soon you feel helpless and hopeless to be able to do anything about it. Instead, we're using a concept called asset-based community development. And asset-based community development is about coming into a neighborhood, and instead of beginning the conversation by looking at everything that's going wrong, we're trying to look at what's going right. And when you do that, you begin to notice things you've never noticed before. St. Martin's neighborhood, where we are, has one of the highest crime rates in the city, and it's one of the poorest neighborhoods economically. But if you look at the assets that are here, it's actually one of the richest neighborhoods. We have some incredibly skilled people here in the neighborhood. Incredibly skilled people, all different professions that are here. The problem is that people can't seem to find jobs, but the skills are here. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to do two things. On the one hand, we're doing this community organizing approach. So we're bringing together all these neighborhood leaders to look at their neighborhood in a different way, to look around and say, well, okay, what are the assets here? What's our vision for the neighborhood? And how do we mobilize the assets to make that vision something real? The other piece of what we're doing is workforce development. So we've got a lot of young people, young men and young women, who do not have job skills. A lot of them have dropped out of school very early on. The non-enrollment rate for high school here is astronomical. 60% of high school age youth here in Belize City are not enrolled in school. 60%. That's a lot of young people bouncing around on the streets. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to train them. We're trying to give them technical skills, right? But we're also trying to develop in them certain habits and certain attitudes that they're going to need in order to not just find a job, but hold a job. So things like showing up on time, things like effective communication, things like customer service, things like how to dress appropriately for your job. These are skills that, you know, when I was growing up in the United States, you just sort of knew. If you're supposed to be there at 9 o'clock, you show up at 9 o'clock. Well, if you have a situation where you have kids who have never held a job before, and their parents have never held a job before, and maybe even their grandparents have never held a job before, well, these are habits that they don't know. So right now in our workforce development program, as you can see, we're in a kitchen right now, and we run a bakery, and the bakery started about a year and a half ago, and we make sweets. We make traditional Belizean sweets. And we sell them to gift shops, we sell them to resorts, and we try to bring in a little bit of money that way. That's been very successful. And you can see in their lives, you can see all kinds of things happening. The big thing is they have found in CCRD a safe place where they can come. Because it's not always safe out there, it's not always safe in their homes. But they come here, they feel safe, they feel supported, they have a cohort, they have a group of peers that they can depend on, that they trust, a new group of friends, and that's a powerful experience for people. And that's really important. What's happening as a result of that is we're seeing that their self-esteem is increasing. And when their self-esteem increases, the sky's the limit for them. The sky's the limit. Another result that we're seeing is our trainees, by being here, are learning how to articulate their dreams for their lives. And that's really the fundamental piece of CCRD, of our strategy, of our approach. Helping people to name their deepest desires for their lives, for their families, for their neighborhoods, for their wider community. So we want to take this bakery to the next level. Right now, we're producing a number of different kinds of baked goods. We're selling them. That's bringing in some money. That's good. But one of the big needs right now, I believe, is, I should say, the fastest growing sector of the economy is tourism. And that's been the fastest growing sector since the 1980s. And so there are always resorts getting built. There are all kinds of employment opportunities in tourism. The problem is that resort owners and restaurant owners are having a hard time finding people who are skilled in customer service to work in their places. So what we want to do is we want to start a restaurant. It would have a very simple menu. Maybe you call it more of a cafe. And it probably would not be here at this location. It would probably be in a location a little bit friendlier to tourists, more accessible to the tourist hotspots. But what we want to do is start a cafe and then hire folks from our neighborhood, take people from our bakery program and move them into to work in this cafe. In that way, they're learning customer service, they're learning food prep, they're getting valuable work experience, they're making a little bit of a salary as they're doing it, and then after the period of 9 or 12 months, then we're able to refer them to these resorts, to the hotels, to the other restaurants in Belize, and we're able to vouch for them. We're able to say, hey, look, this young woman or this young man, they have experience working in a kitchen. They know how to cook. Or hey, this young woman or this young man, they have experience dealing with customers. They understand customer service. That's going to speak volumes. So the ultimate goal is create a restaurant or cafe to provide job training and then do the job referral piece as well.
Awesome. Do you have anything you want to say to the Rockers community?